Welcome back, Classic Gamers, and thanks for viewing Jay the Classic Gamers Let's Play Final Fantasy for the NES Part 4. When we last left off, the dwarves built us a canal, so let's head west and explore the town of Melmon. We've reached Melmon. Let's check out the new stores. $100 gold to stay at the inn, that's a reasonable price. In the white magic shop, we're going to want the 3 spells: Cure 3, Life, and Harm 3. Since we have the money, let's go ahead and buy Cure 3 and Life right now. In the black magic shop, we're going to want the 3 spells: Fire 3, Slow 2, and Warp. But you can't use Warp until you're a black wizard, so let's just go ahead and buy Fire 3 right now. In the weapon shop, believe it or not, we do not need any of these items. If you check out the well, you'll learn that it's just an ordinary well. Let's go over here and talk to this guy. Everybody's heard of me. What? You never heard of Dr. Yoon, guy? Let's keep that guy in mind for later on. In the armor shop, we're going to want to buy the steel armor for the fighter, a silver bracelet for the black belt, and a silver bracelet for the white mage. So let's go ahead and buy the 2 silver bracelets. Now that we know what items we need, it's time to go grinding. In this area, I like to grind a couple levels in the second forest west of Melmon. But before we do that, let's go a little southwest and explore the Titan's Tunnel. We've arrived at the Titan's Tunnel. Let's go talk to him and see what he has to say.
No one passes this road.
After speaking with the Titan, let's go back to the second forest and grind a little more. This was the battle where I reached level 14. At this point, I grinded enough money to buy the Black Mage's Slow 2 spell. And I've also grinded enough money to buy the White Mage the Harm 3 spell. The only item left that we need is the 45,000 gold steel armor for the fighter. So after gaining a level or 2 in the second forest, it's a good idea to head south and grind in the Earth Cave. Once you enter the Earth Cave, take the first hallway to your left. This part here is called the Hall of Giants. Every step you take here, you will run into at least one giant. This is a very good spot to grind for gold. Giants almost give you 1,000 gold for each kill. Keep grinding in the Hall of Giants until you acquire the 45,000 gold you need for the steel armor. Look at that, almost 2 grand for 2 giants. This was the battle where I reached level 15. At this point, I've grinded enough gold to buy the steel armor. This was the battle where I reached level 16. At this point, we've got all the new items and spells we can get for now. If you talk to a certain person in town, they will tell you about Sarda the Sage, who lives in a cave beyond the Titan's tunnel. And if you talk to another person in town, they will tell you about a vampire who lives in the Earth Cave. So let's go check out the Earth Cave first. When you're outside of the Earth Cave, go ahead and use a cabin or a tent to save the game, just in case. The Earth Cave is another difficult dungeon. Once inside the Earth Cave, head north until you reach a room and take that treasure. Most treasure chests in the Earth Cave are protected by Earth Elementals. These guys can hit pretty hard, so attack with everybody and use fire spells with your Black Mage. After you get the treasure, head back towards the stairs. Now let's go to the southeast. Now let's go west and then south until we reach a room and take that treasure. After defeating another Earth Elemental, go ahead and take the treasure. Now let's go to the room to the right and take the treasure. After defeating another Earth Elemental, take the 2 treasure chests and head back to the stairs. What I like to do at this point is exit the Earth Cave and use a cabin or a tent to save the game. Once we re-enter, take the hallway to the east until you find a staircase. The second level of the Earth Cave is a bit of a maze, so just follow me. When you reach this point, head south into a room and take the treasure there. Once you defeat another Earth Elemental, go ahead and take the treasure in the room. And you will have to defeat another Earth Elemental if you want to exit the room. At this point, head north to another room and take the treasure there. After you get the treasure, exit the room and head south to the staircase. When you reach the 3rd floor, just head east and go into the room and take the treasure. Exit the room and head north. I didn't even know these enemies were in this dungeon. These enemies do not have a lot of hit points, but they are very dangerous. They can turn your character to stone with one hit. Just like that. And I only brought one soft potion with me, so I better not get turned to stone again. Continue heading south into the next room and get that treasure chest. And guess who decides to show up again? Yes, more cockatrices. If these guys turn any of my guys to stone, I'm gonna have to start this dungeon all over. I got nervous fighting these guys every time. Let's head into this next room and get the treasure. Exit the room and head west. Ignore this next room, it just has bats in it. And of course, these guys again, my favorite enemies. Thank God they didn't turn anybody to stone. Now let's go into this next room and get the treasure. Exit the room and head south. Before you enter this room, make sure you heal up all your warriors. All living things were born to die. No one can defeat me, the vampire. The vampire only has 156 hit points, so attack with your fighter and your black belt. Use harm spells with your white mage, and use fire spells with your black mage. Wow, that harm spell would have killed him all by itself. After defeating the vampire, take the treasure chest that's behind him. You will receive the ruby. Now let's exit the earth cave. Hopefully we remember our way out. And look who decides to show up. Our good old friends, the cockatrices. Ah, I hate these guys. Yes, I'm so happy Merle got to attack first. Now that we made it to the second floor, we don't have to worry about cockatrices anymore. Now that we've made it to the first floor, we're basically home free from here. Now that we made it outside the earth cave, let's go ahead and use a tent and save our game. Now that we got the ruby, let's head to the Titan's tunnel.
If you want pass, give me the ruby. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Mmm, it tastes so sweet. Rubies are my favorite.
Once you give the Titan the ruby, let's head south and take his treasure chests. There's only one upgrade in this room. You receive a silver helmet for the fighter. After you get the treasure, exit the room and head north to the staircase. Once you exit the Titan's tunnel, head south to Sarda's cave. Once you reach Sarda's cave, there's nothing here, so just talk to Sarda. Use this rod behind the vampire's room. Hiding deep inside, you will find the cause of the Earth's rot. After receiving the rod from Sarda, we need to go back into the Earth Cave to where the vampire was. But before we do that, I suggest we go back to town and stay at the inn to refresh all of our hit points and our magic spells. When I was on my way back to town, I got into this battle, where I reached level 17. Now we're back in the Earth Cave where the vampire was. Go into the room that was behind the vampire and use the rod on the stone plate to reveal a staircase. There is a stone plate on the floor. You sense something evil. The plate shatters, revealing a stairway. We've reached the 4th floor of the Earth Cave. Head north until you find a room and take the treasure inside. After you get your treasure, let's make our way back. From here we want to head south and then west. From here, let's head south into this room and get the treasure. There is an upgrade in this room. It's the silver shield for the fighter. After you get the treasure in this room, exit the door, head north to the stairs. We've reached the final floor of the Earth Cave. Head north first. Now let's go south. Make sure you heal up all your warriors before you approach the orb. The fiend's ball cracks open. An anonymous cloud rises and an evil shape congeals. It's the Lich, the fiend of Earth. Some people call it a Lich, I call it a Lick. But anyway, the Lich has 400 hit points, so just attack with your fighter, your black belt, your white mage, and use fire spells with your black mage. He should go down pretty soon. As long as the Lich doesn't use the zap or nuke spell, you should be able to handle him pretty easy. And just like that, we defeated our first fiend, the Lich. Once you have defeated the Lich, walk onto the throne to light up the first orb. And then you can walk forward and it'll transport you out of the Earth Cave. After exiting the Earth Cave, make sure you save your game. So this concludes Jay the Classic Gamer's Let's Play Final Fantasy for the NES Part 4. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for Part 5.